promises, and because of what God promises was all about, they felt like they was rich when they was poor. They felt like they could do all things through Christ that strengthened them. It's because God made them some promises. What everybody must realize, God has got to do that because it's very important. Because promises give us insights on things that was gonna come, things that will come. It's like the promises that God makes, amen, somehow focuses in on what God says that he's going to do. Amen. What promises does, it opens our eyes up and allows us to see something, even though it has not yet come yet, we still see something. In other words, this is why this Bible is very interesting, because if a child of God is going to get anything, he's got to, amen, he's got to believe God. If you want out of any situation, you got to believe God. Because all the doors are shut. Y'all ain't talking to me. Amen. The way is closed. Amen. Things cannot happen unless God steps in and do it for you. And so your confidence level is only in you as God, amen, is blessing you, because that's what it's all about. In other words, this text is very interesting here because it reflects to the fact that God made promises to people, and he made promises because he planted something inside of them. He planted some kind of glorious thought inside of their mind, amen, that they could see something before it happens. Have y'all ever been in a place where your mind looked like there was no chance for things to take place, but all God have to do is plant something there. All he have to do is tell you something. Just from the mere fact that God talked to you, automatic would lift you. Just a matter of fact that God had planted a thought in your head, you feel like things are getting ready to be better. You feel like God is getting ready to turn some things around. You feel like you can make it because God has placed something in your mind. Can something shout glory? Glory. Can you shout hallelujah? Hallelujah. In other words, what he tries to show us is the uniqueness of God. And I search this and I look at it all the time. God is so unique, he will scare you because he doesn't do things the same way. God is so unique that he keeps us searching for him. Amen. God is so unique that we look one way and he comes another way. God is so unique that, amen, you look at him and you think that he's coming powerful. When God takes some lower elements and bless them, he can take things that have no business working and he make it work for you. He can take things that have no power and deliver you with. That's how we serve God. That's how we praise him. Can you shout glory? I feel something in here already. In other words, this writer takes time to do that because what he is saying in this chapter is very interesting. Because in chapters, amen, number 2 of Haggai, as I told you, it was actually a pertinent time where the people had stopped. They had given up the fight and they had started looking at the fact that there was nothing taking place, and they had resolved themselves, didn't want to work and didn't want to do anything, didn't want nothing to seem to happen, when God sent a word in here to try to encourage everyone that is in here. In other words, he says in the text, when he sends a word to him, he sends a word at an odd time. He sends a word, amen, when you don't even expect things going to change. He sends a word in here at the right time that you need it, at a time, amen, when you don't have any hope. He sends a word in here when it looks like it cannot be done. He sends a word in here when it looks like you're at the worst point and the worst time in your life. He sends a word in here, amen, to try to encourage everyone and tell them to hang on in here because God is not through working yet and God is not through blessing you yet. In other words, he comes in chapters number 2. He speaks and said, according to the word that I've covered with you, amen, I covered this word, I spoke this word when you came out of Egypt. I didn't wait till you got to the promised land, but he said when you came out of Egypt, I covered this word. I did something in this word just before you, right before you got to the place where it's called even promise. God made a covenant with somebody that is in here. In other words, what is he talking about in the text? or what you call an oath that God has made. When God covered certain things to you, you might as well understand that it's already in the bank. The check is already in the mail. Because what he does, he puts his name up against what he says. And he put his whole character at risk. Amen. To the fact that he's got to do what he said that he's going to do. In other words, he makes an oath. He makes him send the word and said, I have to bind myself, amen, to do, amen, what I said that I'm going to do for you. I cannot renege. I cannot change it. I cannot alter it.